two, and one. Good morning, everyone. The time is 11:01 a.m. on February 20th, 2023. This is episode 26 of the Catr Kenard Podcast. I'm Chris Kenard, and I'm here with my beloved co-host, the Catr Michael Friedman. How are you this morning, sir?
How are you?
To be honest with you, I'm
You're
black
here,
and
right?
alive. Yeah, I'm black and alive. Happy Black History Month.
You are here. Happy Black History Month to you. We haven't done an episode since last year, so Happy New Year to you.
Happy
Um,
belated New Year.
yeah, happy belated. I understand you have an announcement right up front.
Yes, I do. We have been recording this show since 2019, if I'm correct. I'm pulling up the release date of our first ever episode because the specific day like escapes me, but it has been quite some time since you first reached out via Facebook saying we should work together. And you encouraging me to make this show with you has changed my life significantly in a way that I can never repay you for. But in spite of that, I believe that this show is running on fumes and we need to take an extended hiatus. But just so we can like thank the audience for all of their patience and trust in us to create together. We have at least four more episodes scheduled before we just like take I suppose just take the rest of the year off and just see where we are after the fact. I'll probably be
Take a
still uploading on a
little
regular
breather, right?
basis. I beg. Well, yeah, most certainly so. I'll still be pretty. I'm pretty much dedicated to like uploading on a consistent basis via like TikTok and here and on Station Head and things of that nature. But Friedman and I will be like just like taking a brief rest and relaxation. And yeah, the first episode was 3 years ago, and the specific date of episode one, almost two views away from 100 views, was December 11th, 2019.
Oh, wow. I feel old.
You know what? Okay, all right. I'm going to ask you something uh live during the stream, but would you do me the honor of like recording episode 30 on that day?
I can make that happen, yes.
Okay, well we can like discuss the we can flesh that out when we get there. But I think that'll be kind of very symbolic if we just like take a break on the day we start this journey started. So that's all I
We
really
usually
want.
don't
That's the
talk
only
about, yeah, we usually don't talk about scheduling on the air. Um, but for that one, I'll make that happen.
super awesome. Just in advance, thank you very much for all the love and all the blood and all the sweat.
I'm right there with you, buddy. Uh,
Right on.
we are, you and I are family to each other. So,
Bam and through
us,
otherwise, yes indeed.
yeah, the ups and downs. Um, so, do you want to get started with what I
Yes, I'm
wanted to
so
talk
sorry. I
about?
almost forgot. Today's topics include, but are not limited to, festival coverage of Black artists, the Grammys the 2023 Grammys, and the changing face of country. But that is yet to be determined at this time.
Well,
Along with
we might go a
new
little
recommendations for the
short.
two of us.
Yeah, we might go a little short, but if we go the full half hour, we'll talk about all those subjects.
Yes, indeed.
Hour and a half. Um, I can start with the Grammy talk, and it's not just the Grammy talk. So it's specifically about Questlove and the Roots. That's Jimmy Fallon's house band for the Tonight Show. Uh,
One of the most
and
important bands of all time.
and he and where you are right now, that's a Philly. It's a Philly band, um, and they actually for one day um, did not operate with the Roots, and that is because Questlove seems like a busy guy,
Very.
was at the Grammy Awards. He was asked to, I guess montage is the right word, um, but he put a, it's, well, it says here, I'm on Billboard's website. Um, it's calling it the history of hip hop. Um, and, you know, he was able to get some people. Will Smith was busy doing Bad Boys 4. Uh, but it says there's one voice, though, that did not make it to the stage to perform along. And so here are some of the people that were able to come. Big Boy from Outkast, Ice-T, Missy Elliott, Lil Baby, Method Man, Future, De La Soul, Grandmaster Flash, Run DMC, and then it says, and other legends. Um, and they tried to get Will Smith. I think were able to get DJ Jazzy Jeff. Yeah, he rocked the bills with LL Cool J. Um, and so they were able to do that. Paul Schaefer was able to fill in for the Roots on the Tonight Show. He was David Letterman's band later, but yeah. He was also the DJ too, Questlove.
There were
And
several.
yeah, and he was tasked to do it all. So they I did not see the Grammys, so I did not see that segment, but I did hear about it. Um,
I saw it.
and it's like a recap I read. So were you able to catch it?
So my thoughts on this, I have a lot of thoughts on like the hip hop portion of the Grammys that evening. I didn't see who won Best Rap Song, but I imagine I could pull it up while we're talking. But I did see who won Best Rap Albums. No surprise, it was Kendrick Lamar, and I only don't appreciate it only because it's like a I don't like the idea of the Grammys just like giving people awards just to avoid controversy or making a critical decision. Um, Two specific rappers who I believe were snubbed this year for rap album were JID and Denzel Curry. And Denzel Curry specifically was on Twitter complaining that DJ Khaled and Jack Harlow were nominated for awards this year. And to be honest with you, I share his sentiments not only because I'm biased to Curry, but because it is quite clear that they're doing things that other guys their age and in their realm of popularity are not trying to do. You know what I mean? Make interesting and like gutsy decisions in regards to making rap music, as it is still the most popular genre in the world.
Why are you
Um
biased towards Denzel Curry?
Biased to
You
him
know
because
him?
he's I don't know him personally, but I've been following his career for several years, and um, it is it is quite clear when you hear him perform and listen to his music that he's shoulders and heads above a lot of the guys his age and from like the double XL freshman list that he was featured on all those years ago. Jack Harlow, on the other hand, even though like he's co-signed by DJ Drama and had at least like two big songs on the radio, I think that he's boring, to be honest with you. Yeah, like he had a good feature with like he has a good guest verse with Lil Nas X and things of that nature, but he just feels more of the same and doesn't really he does not inspire a compelling listen. That is why I wish he wasn't nominated, because I feel that his popularity isn't going to last very long, and for a good reason. Curry, on the other hand, has shown clear development and progression over several years of very just like really good albums. Same with JID, especially with JID being signed to J. Cole and things of that nature. But
Name
that's
the
neither here nor there. Hmm?
I said name the Kendrick album that earned a Grammy.
It was Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, an album that I have not heard and do not plan to listen to.
Okay. Well, I was trying to look for this.
For what now?
about the Grammys, about the Questlove thing, and they
I'll get
I
back to
can't.
that.
Yeah, I remember what it was, but I can't find it. They were talking about like when the first uh, Grammy was handed out for rap. It wasn't televised, and
Nope.
the current heads of the Grammys want to do better, and so I think maybe this year they're considering at the start of doing better for rap, um, and I I don't know if I read this or not. Some people did not want to participate in it because of the history with the Grammys and rap. Jay Z was in the crowd, and I think he was singing along to the songs, but he didn't come up on stage.
That's
So
fine. He
that
still did like a formative verse at the end of the night.
so this is why we were talking about possibly going short. That's it for me for the Grammy talk, unless you had some more to say to help
Yes, I
bring it
did
along.
actually. I
Okay.
did. I just wanted to include the fact that during that specific performance when they had just like a whole legion of hip hop legends appear on stage, I didn't care for the fact that it was mixed quite poorly. So like it just was a big wall of just like chaotic noise, especially if you didn't understand, if you didn't like recognize a lot of like the popular songs being performed, it was very disorienting. And I didn't care for the fact that when like you had a prominent like rapper or producer or DJ like appear on stage, you didn't like see their name on screen because not
So you
everybody's going
knew
to
who it was,
recognize the
yeah.
same person. I beg your pardon.
So you knew who it was, yeah.
Exactly. It's like, and I recognized most people that I saw, and I'm happy that I did. But like, what if I didn't know anybody on stage? And that's what's crucial about this culture, like the biggest issue with hip hop, in my opinion, one of the biggest things plaguing the culture and the genre is that people who love the people who love rap and love hip hop often keep like the best things to themselves and then turn around and be upset at like people your age or my age not being aware of like the things that are important to them. Yeah, there isn't a lot of sharing. It's a lot of over protecting, in my opinion. Like a very great example of this is our good friend, the Living Abstraction,
Oh, I'm
who
A.
yeah, and like he told he I was listening to his radio show, Midnight in a Perfect World, and he talked about a specific lady rapper from like the early days of hip hop who I'd never heard of before and was on like SNL, but like I'd never heard her name or the group she was featured in my entire life, 30 years not knowing who this person was. And he's like, here's a very crucial part of like women in hip hop that most people do not know about. And I'm like, damn, like I wonder how far he had to dig to find out about this artist and just like
Who
her
was it?
trail of influence.
Who was it?
Shah Rock.
And she performed on SNL.
Yeah, they had a very like cool song that I really enjoyed. I'll be sure to feature it in the credits when I like get around to just editing
So
this thing.
so it's a rap group.
Well, yeah, she was one of the members of the group and things of that nature. And
I've
I just
never
never
heard of
heard
them
her name
either.
before. What's that?
By the way, somebody, maybe you can help me with this.
Sure.
I just wanted to say rest in peace. Somebody from a rap group, I think from Arrested Development, passed away recently. No, it wasn't that.
Are you referring to Take Off from the Migos?
No, it's an older group, uh, pretty influential group, I think. Um, I'm gonna look it up.
While you're
Uh,
while you're doing that,
I w-
um
okay. Oh, it was Dave De La Soul's Dave, and I don't know how to pronounce that. Truggy the Dove, Trugoy, sorry, Trugoy the Dove.
yeah, you're
Is
right.
is his
Yeah, he did pass. He was only 54. Ugh.
yes.
And
Uh,
this only taking place only maybe like days after they finally got like their discography available for DSPs. And so yeah, if like you want to pay reparations to black people this month, listen to some De La Soul and share it with a friend.
And then the other thing is, it wasn't for that Grammy thing that Questlove pulled off the history of rap. It wasn't just stuff you know. They also did some deep cuts. So um,
Oh
that's
yeah,
it.
I was there. I heard all that.
So you got to watch that. Well, that's it for me. I can switch over to the. How are we doing on time? Did we
We
say?
just cracked over 15 minutes. So
Okay.
did you find that? Did you find that information you were looking for in regards to the thing you saw on MSNBC?
Well, that's for this the country thing. Oh, you mean the
Yeah,
name?
you want to get
I
into?
told you that. I told
Oh
you.
no, you want did you like? But you said you couldn't find the information you were looking for. Did you find it?
No, but that I kind of brought it up. If we're talking about the Grammy thing, yeah, I kind of brought it up anyway. Still was able. I couldn't find it. it. I don't remember what was I saying. I was saying about. Um, oh, there was something that they were saying specifically. It was about why they what rappers said. I think the reason, what they thought was the reason why the Grammys didn't air it when they received their first hip hop award. There was some excuse that they had. Um, I'm not saying it's a bad excuse. I'm not saying if it's a good excuse or bad. It's just the excuse that they used.
We all know
And
what it is.
yeah, I don't remember either. Um, but I'll find, if I find it, I'll mention it again or mention
That's
it.
okay.
But yeah, it's whatever. It's I think we can move
Yeah, I
on
think
to the
we've done
country
our due
rap.
diligence.
What's that?
I think we've done our due diligence.
Yeah, and if I ever find it, and after the episode, I'll bring
You
it
just pop
up
it in the
next.
comments.
I'll mention the next episode or something. Um, so anyway, I was watching MSNBC, not yesterday, but the I mean I was watching it yesterday, but the following Sunday, uh, the Sunday prior to yesterday, there was a segment that the show. It's a guy named Willie Geist, and he does. He has a morning show on Sundays called Today with Willie Geist. Sunday Today with Willie Geist, um, and he had a segment. It was called changing faces of country music. It was part of this Sunday Spotlight. So they do the Sunday Spotlight as part of their show, and that the 2 Sundays ago just happened to be called Changing Faces of Country Music, and specifically black uh, artists. And so I did some notes, and I actually have another source. I didn't take any notes from this one. I'll mention the other source when I'm done this one. Um, but the person that was doing the voice work. Her name is Morgan Radford, um, and they started off talking about a country artist. I guess was around the 70s, 80s, named Charlie Pride. He is the first black singer invited to the Grand Ole Opry, and he had more than 50 top 10 hits. And I know I've heard of Charlie Pride. I've not listened to his music, but yeah, in '93 he was invited to join the Grand Ole Opry, and then 7 years later he was inducted into the Country Music Hall of Fame. He's a big artist in country music. I've definitely heard about him. But anyway, so I think they said they were talking about like the history of black country artist. There was a harmonica player that is mentioned in this other source. I can't remember his name, but I think they were saying that country music, black artists uh, did started with like bluegrass roots. I don't know a lot about bluegrass music, but
Same.
yeah. So anyway, but then they started. They transitioned to kind of who's coming up in country music. Mickey Guyton. Um,
Oh,
Everybody
love
heard
her.
of
She's
her.
fantastic.
Kane Brown.
He's
Um,
all right, I suppose.
they didn't mention this guy. Now I forgot his first name. Now his last name is Allen. Jimmy Allen. And they also
Oh, I've heard
mentioned
him too.
yeah, and then they also mentioned Willie Jones. Two people that they were able to get some quotes from was Michael and Tanya Trotter, and they are known as the War and Treaty. And they were talking
Oh, I've
about
heard of
their
them too. Yeah.
yeah, they were talking about their sound, a little bit of gospel, a little bit of blues. Um, so they said between 2002 to 2020, of the more than 11,000 songs played on country radio, fewer than 1% were by black artists, which is 0.6%. But they said that landscape is changing with radio play for black, indigenous, and people of color increasing by 3.5%. So that's good. Uh, and then Michael and Tanya Trotter, they're from Cleveland, but they said their sound is I mean, Cleveland's not really known for country music. They said it really the real big act from Cleveland, and is a rap group, and I want to see if you can. This is trivia for you. See if you can name the big rap group that Michael Trotter mentioned from Cleveland.
From Cleveland? Off the top of my head, is it Bone Thugs and Harmony?
Off the top of your head, you are correct. Ding, ding, ding.
Nice.
Um, yeah, 90s Bone Thugs and Harmony. And Michael said, it's an unspoken bond is broken. Uh, you're not singing for the other folk. And that's where you get, I think he said, that's where you get labeled as a sellout. I think he's just talking about how people don't look at country music as a black artist.
Fun fact, black people invented country music, so
Yeah, I think that's what they were talking about. Like I said, with the bluegrass roots. Um, so that's all that I have for that. The other source is from the AARP magazine,
mhm.
and there's a article that says changing Nashville as America becomes more diverse, so does its music by Alana Nash. And I tried to see what date of the issue. Oh, it's June, July of last year. So pick that pick that magazine up and you can read about that. Um, so do you listen to a lot of country?
Um, to be honest with you, not as much as I should. And it's man. I think I would make country music for like it's like if I would make the genre more of a priority if more people in my life were passionate about it. Off the top of my head, I could think about maybe three, and people that I really care about. But I just know that that specific genre, it's not going anywhere. It is a true staple of American culture. And you'd think I'd want to like this stick out for like the artists who are just often neglected in the genre, albeit the non-white ones. But I just I can't make that shift in my mind. Yeah, I really like. I'm to be honest with you, I'm very peer pressure has a lot of power over me. So if there was like if I had more friends who were like oh, this music is just like you can't go this year without hearing it. This is like this is something that's crucial to hear. I'll be more encouraged to check that out. But no, like my feet are firmly planted in like the rock scene and all the things going on there. And like I'm always happy to hear like more rock people making country music. Like one of my favorite country songs is Other Side by Shamir Bailey, who's like a very big artist here in Philadelphia. And I think I only gave that song a chance because I know, oh, like it's Shamir. So like he can sing anything. So like if he's gonna sing a country song, I'm gonna send it to every person that I know who loves country because it's like, oh hey, here's some black country for you. Because I'm sure you may not listen to any of those artists that you mentioned just now. It's unfortunate that like black people are a rarity in one of the genres that they started. But that's America for you in the first place. You know what I mean? Often often the inspiration, but never like the priority. But you know, like little things like this are helping in ways that we can't even fathom. So yeah.
Well, the one thing I forgot to read was that she said, uh, what was her name? Tanya Trotter. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Tanya was asked 5 to 10 years, where do you see country music? And she said, hopefully I've blazed a trail. And I hope she's right.
I
Uh,
hope so too.
so that's it for me, buddy. You want to switch over to, unless you had some more to say, you want to switch over to festival talk? Because I can give
Let's
you
get into
some
some festival talk.
answers from my homework. You gave me a
Yeah.
homework assignment, two-parter.
I'll start it off if it makes it any easier for you. I'll start it off.
Well, it's your segment,
Um.
so go ahead.
So festivals. Let's talk about festivals. My first concert experience was a festival. I went to Warped Tour 2010, presented by Vans, and I saw a lot of music. I was at the festival for 12 hours at least, I want to say, and I did not eat well. That's one thing I think. That's one thing I no, like honestly, like I think the only thing that I don't think I ate that day, to be honest with you. And that was like many, many years ago. And I don't recommend that to anyone. It was just that, like, to do this thing, like in 2010, I was so hungry. I'm like, I want to say I was hungrier for music. I think I was hungrier for music then than I am now because, like, these days I have streaming. I have my phone, I have my computer to like get into music. In 2010, 13 years ago, all I had was my iPod. All I had were my CDs. All I had was that family computer. And so to go to a show where I could see bands that I only saw on my computer or imagine them in my mind, of course I'm gonna spend all my money on CDs. And I bought a lot of CDs that day. I even got like I even met two of the bands that I listen to now, and I never thought I'd ever meet them. You know what I mean? And so like, but that's the thing about festivals, right? It's like you get to just like see bands you never see ever in your entire life, and you get to meet strangers who love the music as much as you do. But the food thing, I want to go back to the food thing because like I went to this festival like three times in my life, and the second time I left early, so that was that. That doesn't count. That was in 2012, but I think I went in 2017 with like at least like three friends, and again I spent all my money just trying to get to the front door. And I didn't buy any merch that day. I didn't have any money. All I did was like drink water, see bands, and just like just taking the experiences. And like I think the only thing that I drank besides water was like a free bottle of Monster because they were sponsoring the event in 2017, and everyone got like a complimentary bottle, and that kept me alive a little longer. But towards like the back half of the festival, I think like maybe there are a few bands left that had not performed, and one of them was the American Authors, and I really didn't want to watch them play, so we left. And all that to say is that like every person who loves music should attend a festival at least once in their life. And I know like it's still especially dangerous out there for folks to travel like long distances or internationally to like see music, and unless like it's like open air where maybe a little more safe and such. But like seeing as it's Black History Month and all like the promotions and advertisements for like things like Reading and Leeds, like Puckle Pop, Slam Dunk, Bonnaroo, Lollapalooza, South by Southwest, South by So What, Coachella, like Outbreak. This is hardcore. All like those really just big events. Like they're revving people's engines now, so it's like, all right, choose your fighter, choose your character. Who do you want to see the most? And I wanted to know, sir, like, have you ever attended a festival?
I have not. I've only attended concerts.
And like, no, like specific like festivals like jumped out at you before, right?
I mean, I was aware of festivals, but I've never been.
And like, would you say that you have a desire to at some point in your life?
No, not currently.
And what would like best case scenario, what would like encourage you to like travel to a festival or attend one?
Well, the obvious, I guess, if a band that I like was in it, um, and if some people were coming with me, yeah, I wouldn't go alone. I don't think probably not a lot of people go to festivals alone.
I do. To be honest with you, I kind of prefer to like attend on my own so that like because I feel like if I feel like I'm like with a person at a show, and this just goes for concerts as well, I'm kind of like my enjoyment kind of hinges on their enjoyment. So like if we're there to hang out, I'm gonna be like sidetracked. When I was attending BIM, actually, I went to a couple of concerts when I was maybe like three. I want to say at least three. I went to like three concerts while I was attending BIM, and the first time I went by myself, and then
By the way, BIM is the broadcasting school we went to.
I think by this point they definitely know that.
Well, we might have some new people.
That's fair. Um, Yes, when I was attending broadcasting school, I went to at least three concerts, one by myself and one with my housemate at the time. Shout out to HT, you know who you are. And then with one of the guys in my class who I was not staying with. And the first like when I went with my housemate, he was like, I'll be at the front of the room and I'll see you at the end of the night. And I'm like, cool, this is great. Cause now I can just like focus on who's playing and like, just like interacting with the crowd and such. He likes to be at the front. I don't like to be at the front of concerts, especially with the kind of music that I enjoy. That's the easy way to get hurt. But the third time I went to a show, there's three of us there. We got a ride, and I I think that like my enjoyment of the show was split between like the people I was with and just like the rooms because there was like it was a two-room set. So like there were bands playing in like both rooms. One was like the local stuff, and one was like the national regional performers. And it wasn't until like when we were in like the local room, I wasn't like really like I wasn't having a good time, and I'm that's on me. But like I felt like I was distracted. But that's because like when I went to like Warped in 2017, like everyone had their own priorities, who they wanted to see. But I do think like
Well, it's
it's
punk bands, right?
well, yeah, like metalcore, hardcore, like everything like so everything like everything counterculture in regards to rock was at the Warped Tour. And now that I think about it, like attending a show with people, even if you don't like watch the same acts, is fun because at the end of the night you leave together and it's like, oh man, what did you see that I didn't see? Let's trade stories and such. So I understand that point of view. But one thing I wanted to get back to you on is that like all it would take would be one band to attend a festival, or do you like maybe need like know a few? Because you wouldn't want from what I'm understanding from you, you wouldn't want to go in blind, right?
You mean not knowing anybody performing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
don't want to.
Huh. So, because now I got you on the spot. Which band would you like to see at a festival?
Um, well, if Meg answers her phone calls, the White Stripes.
That's a damn shame. Anybody else that's like currently together?
It's currently together. maybe the group, the Arctic Monkeys.
Yeah, they tend to headline a lot of festivals these days. Would you at least see Jack White on his own?
Yeah,
Cool, cool, cool. This is good information to like log in for later. And how far would you travel? Would you say go to like Florida or New York for a festival?
yeah,
Possibly even DC, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I imagine that'd be a little closer to you than those other two states.
yeah.
Right on, right on. Okay. So today's exercise was that like, I wanted to like focus on prominently black artists who are getting featured in these like humongous festivals. Which festival did you select?
I did Coachella.
Same here actually. The artist that I picked was Willow Smith actually, because she'll be playing on Sunday at Coachella, April 16th and the 23rd, that day, those weekends. And just like her current sorry, did I cut you off?
No, no, you were talking. I cut you off. I didn't see her name, but the
Oh, it's
that's
on
Frank
the
Ocean. Yeah.
yeah, it's her name is in the third row next to the Blaze and Glorilla. Shout out to Glorilla. Big
I
glow.
saw Blaze in the third row. So are you? Let's see. I see Sasha, John Digweed.
You are on the fourth.
Okay. So
Yeah, Frank is number one, then Willow's on the
oh
third.
oh J, oh Glorilla, Jai Wolf. Oh Willow. Okay, I see it. Yeah, I did see that, but I picked from. I picked. Did I pick from the same one as you? I don't think I did. And then they also have returning to the desert, Calvin Harris, and then they
Not
have
black.
what's that?
Who is not black?
Oh, okay. And then Des Despacio all weekend long, and then they have a large scale art installation by, and then they have the names of the artists. So I'm still trying to find where mine is. Uh, Oh, it's on Bad Bunny, which is Friday, April 14th and the 21st. It is uh, one of the big ones because it's the font's larger. It's Catr Kenard.
I love Catr Kenard. What song did you check out of his?
Well, let me read. Let me see. I saw that he, as I was reading his biography on iTunes, of course. He put a silky spin, sometimes authorized, often not, on rappers, Drake and Clips. And then I saw it says on indie bands, and one of them is Ratatat and Justice. And I told you, I recommended a song to you from Ratatat, so that did stand out. And it also stand out that he just the way they described his sound, swerving synths and spongy funk. So I found one of his albums called 99.9%. Hold 1 minute. I wish I had hold music when I say hold 1 minute, but and that's so yeah. Anyway, I was on, let's see, 99.9%, which has a lot of feature people on it. And by the way, for our listeners, since it is Black History and we're doing everything Black History, the songs we recommend each other are from black artists. So I did 99.9%, and I picked the song. It's actually featuring somebody. It's called Glowed, Glowed, Up, featuring Anderson .Paak.
I'm impressed. So what do you think of it?
That's why I liked the sound. That's what I like about rap music is really the sound, the instrumentation.
If I may, our good friend, the Living Abstraction, once played me some Katra, and I've been a fan for a little while, but I hadn't heard this specific record from this album. Track 13, Light Spots, was just like a solo song on that album. Amazing. That song will get you out of bed in the morning. It is so much fun to listen to.
I
Play that
see.
at every party you go to. I promise you, it'll get the place jumping.
Yeah, I see that. What song
Yeah,
would
it's
you
so
like?
much fun. I love that record.
Who was your artist? Oh, Willow. What song would you want to hear her
Oh
perform?
man, so like so in the UK, there's this artist who recently popped off thanks to things like TikTok named Pink Panthers, and she's an amazing producer and singer. And they worked together on a song called "Where You Are," which samples a Paramore song. And I listened to that song almost every single week. So that's a really great selection of hers. I also love the song "Hover Like a Goddess," which is from her most prominent, from her most recent release, "Coping Mechanism," which came out last October via her brother's label Misfits, and I know she's still signed to Rock Nation, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I just love just like the way that rock music sounds with her voice. Stupendous singer.
And we just had mentioned her father, so that's a good way to tie things up. But yeah, I would listen to Load Up. Um, I only heard the sample, but I had some other
I wasn't even
people.
aware there was a sample in that song.
No, it wasn't. I'm saying I only heard a sample of the song.
You don't listen to the whole song. Shame on you.
Well, you didn't tell me to.
Oh my
Um,
God. Why would I only ask? Man, now I gotta roast you. Now I gotta roast you. It's so funny to me
it, it,
that a man that nah, but I gotta roast you though. I gotta
you
roast you for a
can't
second.
because you're not funny.
Oh wow, that's just plain rude. First of all, so congratulations. Nah, but like it's so interesting to me. 'Cause I gotta tell you about yourself. It's so interesting to me that a man like yourself loves music and um won't take the time to listen to a whole song. What's that about? Like, now, if I'm gonna shoot you some bail, I would think that the only reason why you wouldn't finish the entire song in one sitting is that you were doing something else or you ran out of time. I can
Because you
excuse
didn't
that,
tell me to do that. You
fam. But
told
why
me
wouldn't
to.
you want to listen to a whole new song that you like?
Uh, you got me there.
Hey, and again, like yesterday, I was on stream with my good friend from back home, Haystack West, and like our program is all about him like checking out some new shit. And I had him put on this one song from this Australian band that I love, 12 Foot Ninja. He puts the song on, and I'm like, "What did you think?" And he's like, "I ain't gonna lie to you, 3 out of 10. Didn't even finish the song." And I was heartbroken. But like that's what he's there for. He's there to like keep my head from getting too big.
Well, that's what
And
I
it
do. Usually, the songs
that
you
most
recommend
certainly
me,
is
I
the
don't like.
case.
Yeah.
That is most
Uh,
certainly the case. That is most certainly the
there's
case.
maybe been a couple songs that maybe reached like the 7 or the 8, but not much. Keep trying though.
Heartbreaking. Heartbreaking.
Keep trying, man. You'll get there.
My
But
friend.
no, I enjoyed "We Like It Here" by Snarky Puppy. Um, I
Well,
let you
I'm
know
very
about
glad to
that.
hear that, sincerely.
And then our friend who will be on the show one of these days, Briscoe, John Briscoe. I liked him. So,
I need to get that man on the phone. I'll probably do that today.
so what do we want to do now? We can wrap this puppy up if you want. What are
Yeah,
your
I think we should
thoughts?
go for another 15 minutes and then like conclude for the afternoon.
So, what we're done with the festival talk,
More or less.
unless you wanted to add more.
No, that's pretty much about it. I got more out of you than I thought I would. Um, I have a question.
Let's go.
All right. It has been quite a while since episode 25 of the podcast. Do you remember what we recommended to one another? Because I honestly do not.
I remember the first song that I ever recommended you.
What? What was that?
It's a song called "The Brazilian" by Genesis.
Now, let me tell you about the Brazilian by Genesis, since you brought it up. I remember one time I was going on a hike with my housemate, and we were listening to music on his speaker while we were like walking or whatever. And I'm like, yo, let me play this song that the Catr recommended me on our show. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I kept going back to it every so often because I'm like, do I like this song? Do I not like this song? Why don't I? And I recall him saying, "Oh, this isn't that bad," and because everyone loves Bill Collins and co. But yeah, I remember that song too. I don't remember what we recommended one another on episode 25 though. And honestly,
Yeah,
now that I think about it, I just had like a brand new idea just now. I think that someday I want to get you. I want to like pull up. Like I want to come to the Catr residence, and we can go live on Station Head and just like play some of the joints we recommended to one another and just reminisce on the old episodes and see how those songs hit our ears and such. So just an event to possibly consider in the future.
okay.
But here we are now, 2023, 3 years into the show. um do
And I
you
forgot.
what
I forgot. We can't wrap this up yet. We haven't recommended our songs yet.
That's exactly what I think. I feel like this will like fill up the last chunk of today's program. um I want to start if you don't mind.
I do mind. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
So I spend a lot of time on TikTok. It is a great place to find new music and just like anything you love about music you can find on TikTok. And so often when you're there, a lot of people are trying to like promote their music. Gain a bigger audience. Like look for a deal, get shows, or whatever. And I stumbled upon this artist. Um, because I'm doing a thing on TikTok. I have two accounts, and on my secondary account, Kenard Chris, I'm trying to listen to 365 songs in 365 days. And so far, I have done 50 posts on my account. And on day 49, I stumbled upon the artist known as Almira Ara, they them pronouns, and the song Cathedral. And I was just like, oh wow, this is one of like the of all like the at the time 49 songs I listened to this year. That Cathedral by Almira Ara is in the top five. I just loved that really just consistent R&B rock influenced sound, like sound like a sound you'd like hear from like Leanne LaHavis and Cleo Soul, which was like the artist that they recommended, that if that was like their FFO in the video. And I'm like, oh, like I hear bits of like Corin Bailey Ray and like Scary Pockets or even like a Sade when I hear this song. And I'm like, dang, like this came from like a 20-year-old person. Like they have really good taste. And so I was just like, yo, people, pass this to 49 friends because this is awesome. And I would love just like for them to have the opportunity to like have it played on the radio and just like have older people from like from my background to like check the song out, because it's not often like you can get in on the ground floor of a brand new artist who's trying, like trying something new. And it feels very comfortable for me, and I love that because I have often felt alienated by R&B music. Sometimes a very popular song does nothing for me, and that always makes me sad that, oh, I don't have like the emotional connection that others may have to this song. And I don't want to like be like, I don't want. And sometimes when like a popular song doesn't meet your fancy, people try to make you feel bad about it. And I I only want like everyone to hear the song and feel as good as I do about it when I play it. So I sent it to a few folks. I need to send it to 47 more people. Um, so
Including
that is
me.
your recommendation. What's that?
I said, including me. 47
Yeah,
people.
technically you're the first person, because I sent it to a couple of folks, but I'm like I'm writing it down so I don't like BS it to myself. I really do want to like send it to 49 friends, and you're number one. And I sent it to like two other folks on Facebook in the meantime. So that is your assignment until we meet again for episode 27 in March.
Um, well, we haven't talked yet, but I'm going to recommend you the song The Great Gig in the Sky by Pink Floyd. Now you're probably
No, you can't do this.
now you're probably saying, well, hold on. This is not a black group.
No,
And
but
you're
I know what you're gonna say. I
and
already
you
know what you're gonna say, and I have
and
to stop
you're
you.
and you are correct in saying that. But the backing vocals is by Doris Troy, who is black. Um,
I
and
already know this song, brother.
you do?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Oh man.
Well, I let me read you the short, and then
Or please do. Go
I'll
ahead.
use up some time looking for another one.
That's fine.
She is Bronx-born R&B singer.
Here.
She sang in church choirs and worked as an usher at the Apollo before making her way as a singer. She co-wrote her huge 1963 hit, "Just One Look," whose
Wait,
Caribbean
wait, 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 wait. Hold on. Mr. Friedman.
What?
That's it. I'll listen to that song instead.
Okay. Okay.
What was that song again called?
Just One Look.
Just One Look. And
Whose
the artist,
Caribbean,
please.
yeah, whose Caribbean rhythmic undertone may have come from her Barbadian family background. The song was later covered by countless artists. In the 70s, Troy was a backup singer for everyone from Pink Floyd to Carly Simon. Mama, I Want to Sing, which is all in caps, the musical production based on her life story, was turned into a 2008 film featuring young R&B star blank in the lead role.
Blank?
Another trivia for you.
There's no way I know the answer to this question.
Sierra.
Sierra. Wow, that's awesome.
Sierra played Doris Troy in a 2008 film called Mama, I Want to Sing. There's another backing vocal in that song, or vocals, not the backing vocals, by Claire Torrey. I was going to look her up, but I didn't get a chance.
That's quite all right.
Well, no, we can fill up some more time. Let me see.
Yeah, why not?
What?
Yeah, why not? I'm into it. Go ahead.
Why not? Yeah. Let's see. Claire Torrey. I think she's also black, but we'll find out. Oh, there's nothing on her.
Well, I hope she's having a nice day.
I have The Spirit of Man. It says by Jeff Wayne, Richard Burton, Phil Lynott, who is actually the lead singer of Thin Lizzy, was. But this is a CD called Jeff Wayne's musical version of the War of the Worlds, which is something I learned about in broadcasting school. War of the Worlds. Obviously, I wasn't a very good broadcaster. But anyway, yeah, I'm not finding anything. There's also a track with Justin Hayward, who is from Moody Blues. David Essex had a hit song with Rock On. Yep, nothing on Claire Torrey, sorry.
That's quite all right.
But yeah, check out the first Troy song, and we'll reconvene when we feel the right time is. And you threw out to do our 30th episode on the anniversary, and we could talk about this off air.
Well, folks, this has been episode 25 of the Catr Kenard Podcast. I'm Chris Kenard, joined by my very special and beloved co-host, Michael the Catr Friedman. It is 11:55 a.m. on February 20th, 2023, and we want to say thank you for taking the time to hang out with us today and just like sit and chat about music, which means a lot to us. I often say that things like politics and religion, they're kind of unreliable to bring humanity together, but more often than not, your least favorite person enjoys one of your favorite songs, and maybe you can start there. Who knows? It doesn't solve everything, but it solves most things, I'll say. As always, please stay hydrated. I think I'm gonna have some water. on air right now because I'm quite parched.
I'll I'll
Gosh
keep it
darn, that
alive.
H2O is so good.
What
Um,
is it? Well water.
well, water.
Yeah.
Please, I live in the city, dog. We drink
Oh yeah.
Schuylkill Punch like everybody else. I would also plead with any listener that when you leave your home, please wear a face covering. And if not for yourself, for like the elderly and like the immunocompromised. That's all I'll say about that. I also want you to do me a favor and go into the bathroom or take a selfie or pull out your compacts and say, I love you to yourself. And if for any reason you cannot do that, please know that the Catr and I love you in the most platonic and supportive way possible. And finally, and most importantly, it is Black History Month. Black History Month ends in 8 days. So please consider how Black people have like shaped your life in like ways unknown and known. Consider like paying reparations to a Black person that you know or do not know. Um, if you follow me on Twitter right now at KRISKENARD, the pinned post on my account displays 14 very important Black people in the world living today who are like creating things or just like being alive, including myself and my trans dad. So like if you want to just like throw a couple bucks our way, that'd be kind of cute. It'd be nice. It's the least thing you can do considering all that we've been through. And just consider just like the plight of the marginalized community in this country and across the world as you go about your day. Mr. Catr, is there anything you'd like to include that I have not already said?
I thought of the song that you recommended me.
Oh shoot, what was it?
It was Lucy Dacus' cover of "In the Air Tonight."
That's right. Oh my gosh. Yo, Lucy is about to drop again later this year with her supergroup Boy Genius featuring Phoebe Bridgers and
Oh yeah,
Julianne Baker.
I've heard about that.
So that's gonna be pretty awesome. Though, and she also was on like Sirius XM doing a cover of "Chasing Cars" by Snow Patrol, and that was super awesome as well. So
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Much
yes,
love.
indeed. Mr. Catr, would you do me a favor and say goodbye to the people out there as I end our broadcast?
Peace out.